Debbie Brill will be 29 tomorrow, an old lady by athletic standards who has been representing Canada in international competition for 13 years. Her performance has improved every year, and she now seems set to cross the 2-meter mark. That's 6 feet 6.5 inches. She's getting closer all the time. Last January, 5 months after giving birth to a baby boy and not feeling too well, she did this.
I've never tried to jump for money, and I never want it to become that because I love the sport and I don't want it to start being a, well, I'll go to this meet because I can make this much money. It's kind of a trade-off. If I didn't feel good and if I hadn't felt like I could jump, well, I wouldn't have done the indoor regardless of how much money there was. It's part of your pride too in doing it, but yeah, it comes into it. You can't help it. You know, that's the way I live right now. I live from the sport.
You had publicity at the time about taking drugs and,
yeah.
Excuse me, what was the background of that?
Well, it's what you say. I was trying to break out of the mold. So what I did, I was trying to explain to the press one day that, and it really happened like just in one day, I was trying to explain to them, look, we're regular people. We take drugs, we've tried drugs, we'll go out and party, we'll get drunk, we've all got boyfriends, a lot of us don't live at home, we'll live with our boyfriends, stuff like that. And I was trying to say, look, we're just really, really regular people, but I obviously didn't say it in the right way. And it came out in the papers that we were all addicts and sex abusers and stuff like that. It was the strangest thing, and I realized that was the first time it really hit me that, wait, they don't care. They don't care what's happening to you, they care about the stories they're getting. I didn't want it coming out in the way that, oh, Debbie's pregnant. And a lot of people didn't know about Greg. They don't know that I've lived with him 9 years. They know I'm not married, but I don't think they knew any of the reasons behind it, which I didn't really care to tell them about anyway. But I didn't want it coming out like, oh, Debbie's pregnant, what happened, and, oh, it would come out in that just kind of seedy sort of way, and I felt so good about it. I didn't want it brought down in any way, and I wanted them to know how good it felt and how excited I was about it. So that's why I did that.
What are your feelings about marriage?
Well, I guess, for a long time, I just never felt like I wanted to get married. It never seemed, I didn't like the institution of marriage as I've seen it in North America nowadays. It seems like there's no point to it. Basically, I haven't been able to find a reason to do it. I'm not religious. I have no religious background. And I thought, well, the idea is, okay, you get married, you have kids, you get married. And I had to say, again, well, why? Why do you have to get married if you're having a kid? Because nowadays there's no real stigma attached to being born with your parents being unmarried, or even to a single parent or anything. And I felt then, well, that would be ridiculous. You can't just get married for the kid. I mean, he's going to grow up and he's going to say, well, why'd you get married? And I'll say, well, you were born, why else? It doesn't make any sense. It seemed very hypocritical to me. So we decided, no, we won't.